Welcome to the Bulldog Blitz. I'm Mallory Winters.
And I'm Elyssa Garfinkle. The Butler volleyball team had an amazing season last year, winning the conference tournament and advancing to the first round of the NCAA. Last week, they were honored at Hinkle Fieldhouse and received their championship rings. Mallory Winters has more on the story.
The Butler women's volleyball team made history in 2010 as they defeated Valparaiso in the conference championship. This was the first league title for the Bulldogs in 13 years. Though they were bounced from the first round of the NCAA tournament by Dayton, the Dogs valued the competitive experience and the fancy hardware they got along the way. Butler alum Jesse Wolf was on hand to talk about the unique experience of the NCAA tournament and being presented with a Horizon League championship ring.
Yeah, I have to admit it was a little intimidating. Dayton had an incredible student body organization that was right there on the court, so they're really just breathing down your neck every moment of the game. So it was a little intimidating, but at the same time, there's this, sense of rush and a sense of urgency to, win it and, move on, because when you get to that point, it's win or go home. So we certainly didn't want to go home, and unfortunately we did. But when it comes down to it, since it's been, over a decade since the last NCAA appearance, that's all that matters, is that we're pushing the program further. So we have something to be proud of. I know a lot of the returning girls that were seniors last year, this was a moment that we had all anticipated because this was one of our main goals in the 4 years that we played. So really today was just, reinforcement of all the hard work that we did last year to win it.
The Dogs kept the energy from the ring ceremony rolling as they swept Austin Peay in 3 sets. They finished the weekend 2-1 with a win over Elon, but fell to Central Michigan in the tournament final. The Dogs are just 4-7 on the young season after facing some tough competition early. Sophomore Maggie Harbison tells us what expectations they have going forward.
We have me and Mo in the middle, which is a lot, having our 2 returners in the middles, because that means our passing has to be really good. And then we have Gina. So having our DSs and our outsides playing as freshmen is huge, because passing and hitting controls the game. Well, our main goal is bringing the conference tournament back to Hinkle. We didn't get it last year. We lost by 1, so we just want to host the conference tournament and get to the NCAA.
With so many new faces, they are looking for youth to step up and help pick up where they left off last season. They will put that plan into action this weekend as they kick off their conference schedule with home matches against Cleveland State and Youngstown State.
The Butler men's tennis team opens up their season this weekend in West Lafayette at the annual Purdue Invitational. Head coach Jason Susha is fielding a young group of 6 freshmen on the team this year. These baby Bulldogs are only returning 1 sophomore and 2 seniors. The Invitational features singles and doubles draws, with players advancing individually, not per the usual team format. Because of the unique format, not all of the newcomers made the weekend trip to West Lafayette. Susha will be relying heavily on seniors Zach Irvin and Stephen McLaughlin to carry much of the load. The Invitational is being held at Purdue's Schwartz Tennis Center and got underway early this morning and runs through Sunday afternoon. It is featuring players from 12 different colleges spanning from Wisconsin to Arkansas and representing many conferences.
The Butler men's soccer team built some much-needed momentum for its upcoming match against Louisville by winning the Dayton Invitational over the weekend. The Bulldogs came from behind twice against Western Illinois in the tournament opener and won the game 3-2. Sophomore forward Austin Hold'em had a goal and an assist, and freshman midfielder Zach Steinberger recorded 2 assists in Butler's 3-goal second half. Oldham scored his team-leading 4th and 5th goals in Butler's tournament, clinching 2-1 victory against Houston Baptist on Sunday. Sophomore goalkeeper John Dawson made a pair of saves in the win, and the Bulldogs outshot the Huskies 19-9. With the wins, Butler improved its record to 4-1-1 before a showdown on Saturday against Louisville. The Cardinals, who were ranked number 1 in the nation at the start of the season, came into the game with a mark of 4 wins and 1 loss. Louisville is currently ranked number 7 in the nation. Well, the men's soccer season is underway, and we are lucky enough to be joined by 2 members of the soccer team. Scott Schmelzer is with redshirt sophomore goalkeeper John Dawson and junior Jared Eisenthal to find out what's on the horizon for the Dogs.
Today on the Bulldog Blitz, we have redshirt sophomore goalkeeper John Dawson and junior left back Jared Eisenthal. How are you guys doing today?
Doing well.
Great, Scott. Thanks for having us.
So first, let's start off. What are you guys studying, and what are you here for at Butler University?
I'm a marketing major, so I'm looking to do something that involves sports marketing, hopefully.
I'm currently a finance and MIS major. Not exactly sure what I want to do with it, but no, I want to go into the business world. So.
Excellent, excellent. Well, why don't you guys tell us a little bit about your soccer backgrounds, where you came from, and how you got to Butler to play Division I soccer?
Definitely. I played soccer my whole life. I grew up in Carmel, Indiana, just north of Indianapolis, and played club soccer for Carmel United Soccer Club. In high school, I played for Carmel High School, won a state championship my sophomore year. We went undefeated. And then my junior and senior year of high school, I played club soccer with John here at Carmel United, and we did some really nice things there. We won back-to-back national championships for our respective age groups. And basically, I got to Butler through my assistant coach at Carmel United. He was Butler's current assistant soccer coach as well, and I know he thought highly of both of us, so he recruited us here. And after looking at a couple other schools, soccer-wise and academically, I just felt that Butler was the right fit for me. It's just all-around great place, and I love it here ever since. So.
Sounds good. Well, John, you have a similar background, but why don't you give us a little?
I'm here from Indianapolis. I grew up playing actually baseball for a while until like I was 14. Then I really got into soccer, and I started off playing at Indy Burn here in Indy, and then I went to Brebeuf for high school. And I had a great coaching staff there and some good goalkeepers that were older than me to learn from. And then when I was 16, like Jared said, I went to Carmel United and played there. We won 2 national championships, and through Coach Costa, that's how I found out about Butler and been happy ever since.
Excellent, good to hear. So let's get a little bit into season. First 2 exhibitions didn't go quite as planned, and Bradley, first game of the season wasn't great, but since then, last 4 matches, you've got 3 wins and a tie. So how's that going with all the transfers, coaching change? How's the season going for you guys so far? How do you feel?
It was pretty rough to start with. Luckily, we had good captain's practice where we brought everybody in really early, and we really got to mesh. But we've got different guys with different styles, and I think Bradley, as bad as it looked on the score sheet, was great for us as a team because we really learned from it. And especially with Coach Snape and Coach Brew, and then all our transfers and our new guys, I think 6 of our starting 11 now this is their first year being starters at the college level. So that's over half the starting lineup. And we're just really trying to learn as we go and get as good as and do as well as we can every day.
Yeah. As John hinted on, it was definitely a rough start for us. We knew coming in it'd be a lot different of a year than it was last year. Having a new coaching staff and a big senior class leaving after last year was tough on us, but we knew we could fill the shoes and kind of become our own team. And as John said, the captain's practice before the season actually started went really well, getting the team together. And preseason went really well for us. I thought we played well against Notre Dame and Bowling Green, but we didn't get the results we wanted, but the process was there. And it was a big disappointment against Bradley. Letting in 4 goals as a defender and a goalie was tough on both of us, but it was just a great learning experience. And sometimes it takes, after an undefeated season we had last year, aside from the tournament loss, it takes a loss like that to really know what you need to do to win, especially for a new team. So we've rebounded well. We had a great weekend last weekend in Dayton, had 2 good wins, and we're just looking to continue to build on the season and into conference play.
Absolutely. What was it like with 2 of your best players, Matt Hedges and Julian Cardona, transferring? Who's had to step up for them, and how's that been going for you guys?
Yeah, that was tough. As a defender, Hedges was a great player for us and a good leader, but we've had another transfer come in, Justin Sass, junior from Evansville, and he's really filled Hedges' shoes and almost done even more for us. So he's helped us in that aspect, but losing a forward like Julian, again, it's tough, but in my opinion, forwards are replaceable, and there's a lot of good players out there, and we've had some freshmen step up. A sophomore, Austin Oldham, has done really well this season, and really, he's just playing really well right now. Along with that, Adam Glanzer, who is a sophomore as well. I mean, they've just really filled their shoes nicely, and I think everyone being able to take the responsibility that when people are leaving and whatnot has enabled us to continue to build. So.
Very cool. John, could you speak a little bit about your new coach, Coach Snape? How's he been so far with the team?
Coach Snape's great. He's quite different than what we had last year, but I think for some of the guys, that's exactly what we needed. Mm-hmm. He really demands a lot out of us, but treats us more like we're adults. And so I think a lot of the guys are more willing to give them their all just because the sheer respect that we have for him. Because he's a great guy. He's done well with the program so far. He's brought an excellent coaching staff. And he was one of the reasons that we brought in these great recruits and these great transfers. So with Coach Snape on board, really all things are looking positive.
Excellent. And again, to you, John, losing a rock in the program like goalkeeper Fabian Knopfler and you redshirting freshman year, sitting behind him last year, how did those 2 years of sitting behind Fabian help you, or how's that transition gone, switching goalkeepers gone?
My freshman year is when I actually broke my hand, so I couldn't play. So I literally just had to watch and listen and really study what he did, and it helped so much. For a guy like Fabian who had such age and experience, and especially coming from a foreign country, so his style is totally different than what I was used to, it was really great to just really watch him my freshman year. And then my sophomore year, when I really got to train with him in training and before games and things like that and really study him even more, I felt like I learned even more from the bench than I could have if I even played. I got in against Bowling Green last year and did well, and I credit a lot of that to Fabian because of our training styles together. But it was really nice to really be able to study against him.
Excellent, yeah. So Jared, I noticed you guys haven't lost a road match in the last 2 seasons. What is it about the road, especially this year? You go to Dayton, you go to Michigan, you don't lose. You lost to Bradley here. What is it about the road that really brings it out of you guys?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think of it, it's a little different than a pro sport, kind of playing on the road. In college, you're with your team on the bus, going to and from the match. You're in the hotel, just as a team, and I think you can really dial in on the match, specifically being on the road, rather than being at home and still focusing on, not focusing, but still having to deal with your social life and even school a little more than on the road. You're able to focus and really gel together as a team on the road. And on top of that, I'll speak specifically to our Michigan match. That was a game that we all really look forward to, especially with Coach Snape and Brew coming from Michigan. And just being able to concentrate on the match solely, that's what the road kind of gives you. So
absolutely. All right, so we're in the heart of the non-conference schedule. You go undefeated last year. You finished ranked 5th in the country. You win the Horizon League. This season's going to be a little bit different, but what are your guys' expectations? How do you guys think you will do in the conference, especially when we're starting conference up here in about a week? So how do you guys see that going this year?
We expect to do just as well. Every day we train to get better, and we fully expect to win the Horizon, make the NCAA tournament, and our ultimate goal is to get into the NCAA Final Four and see what happens. Because, once you win that first game in the NCAA tournament, anything can happen. And we're a team that we fully believe that we can make it there, and we have the skill and talent and the coaching staff and the belief to literally make anything happen. So we fully plan on, winning the majority, if not all of our games, playing as best as we can, and definitely competing and winning the Horizon so we can make it to the NCAA tournament.
And how are the freshmen doing, Jared? What are they bringing to the team this year that maybe is new and different for you guys?
Yeah, the freshmen this year have been great for us. There's 8 of them this year, and they really bring a new life to the team. I said earlier that we lost a group of 12 or 13 seniors, and the freshmen's mentality just to work hard every day. A couple of them are getting some good playing time, but the others, their positive attitude at practice and supporting the team in every way is really helping us just grow as a unit.
Excellent. And so tomorrow, you guys play number 7 ranked Louisville at Louisville. I know we're expecting a pretty big turnout at that match. How do you guys see that going? What do you know about Louisville? How do they look?
Actually, a kid from my high school goes there, so we've stayed in touch a little bit. And a guy on our team's little brother goes there as well, or I guess younger brother. But we expect a tough game. We expect, like 5,000 people. They average like $4,000, and we expect them to bring about 5 for us. And we really expect a tough game and good competition, and we look to get the result.
Good. That'll be exciting. That'll be really fun. So tell me both. I know that there's a match coming up that a lot of Butler students are looking forward to, but you two personally, what match are you both looking forward to the most this season?
That's a tough one. The one that comes to mind, definitely, aside from our conference play, which in my heart is our most important games of the schedule, we have a big non-conference match against IU on October 12th. And this is going to be the first time that John and I will be able to play IU on the Butler Bowl. I've played them 3 times since I've been here at Butler. But each of them have been away at IU. So that'll be a big one. One, because we have 4 or 5 guys that we played club soccer with that go to IU. And another one, just being from Indiana, IU's always been that big soccer school in the state. And it's just fun to play IU. And fortunately, I'm 2-1 against the team in my career. But other than that, just looking forward to continuing the season, conference play, and doing well.
And you, John?
I just agree.
Same one. I thought you might agree with that. Absolutely.
I can't wait. It'll be fun.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much. We're running out of time. But when we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, find out how the football team has managed through their first 2 contests, and we will tell you which Butler team has started the 2011-2012 school year undefeated.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Blitz.
After starting their season off with a home opening win against Albion, the Bulldogs fell to Indiana State last weekend 48-34. The first half was a back-and-forth battle between the two teams, but the Sycamores took control of the game in the third quarter with 20 unanswered points. Butler tried to battle back, but they couldn't overcome the deficit. The Dogs finished with 429 yards on offense, including 289 passing yards from senior quarterback Andrew Huck. This moved him to third on Butler's all-time passing list with 4,843 total yards. Huck also set the school's consecutive pass completion record with 19 in the home opener against Albion. He will lead the Dogs into their game tomorrow against Taylor, who is currently 2-0 on the season. This is only the third meeting all-time between the two schools. Butler defeated the Trojans last year 28-20. Kickoff tomorrow is 1 p.m. at Taylor's Jim Wheeler Memorial Stadium.
Although they are mainly a spring sport, the Butler softball team does have a short fall season. Elyssa Garfinkle has more on Butler's currently undefeated team.
After matching the best finish in Bulldog history, the Butler softball team is taking advantage of their fall season to work on the small stuff.
I think mostly the fall is just kind of to get the loose ends out and, have the freshmen get some experience in the collegiate level, make sure they're, not as nervous and just get them on the field so they're going to be ready for the spring. So I think in the fall it's just everything. Fundamentals, just kind of work on our mentality of the game.
For many athletes, the off-season is a time to focus on many important factors. For seniors Elyssa Coleman and Aaron Falconberry, they are putting their efforts into becoming better team leaders.
I really like to focus on team chemistry, making sure the freshmen feel welcome. There's 8 of them, so it's a lot of them, making sure that they all feel like they're welcomed here and that we are a tight family here in the Butler softball, so we want to make sure that they're not shy or feel like they're left out, make sure they really get involved so that they feel comfortable to go out and play their hardest.
In the past, I would say I wasn't as outspoken. I'm not one to really speak my mind when it comes to leadership things, so I'm going to try to work on that this year and then just constantly always work my hardest on the field to be a leader to the freshmen and everybody else.
The softball team has been preparing for their last fall tournament, and with 7 seniors and key players returning for the Bulldogs, they are confident that they have what it takes to maintain their success.
Last year, we kind of set the bar pretty high for us, and throughout the conference, I think we really proved ourselves in the conference last year. So this year, we're just going to try to maintain that respect and stay up there, So I think we're extremely capable. We just need to work really hard in the off season and in the weight room to make sure that we're prepared.
We focus on being focused when we play the game, even if the competition's not that good. Also, making sure that we have the same expectations that we had last year, since we did super well last year, but we can do even better. So it's making sure we don't go backwards with our fundamentals, but keep going forward, getting stronger, getting healthier, staying healthy, and making sure the freshmen know what they're going to get into and make sure that they can compete.
The softball team is currently undefeated in their fall season.
The Bulldogs play Saturday and Sunday at 11 and 3 at the Butler softball field. For the Bulldog Blitz, I'm Elyssa Garfinkle.
Legendary basketball coach Bob Knight spoke Wednesday night about his perspective on life, careers, and most importantly, basketball. People gathered at Clues Memorial Hall to hear what Coach Knight had to say. Lance Rinker has more on the story.
Gloomy weather didn't stop more than 1,600 people from coming to Clues Memorial Hall Wednesday night to hear legendary basketball coach Bob Knight speak about his life and career. Knight is Division I's all-time winningest coach, racking up 902 wins over 42 seasons. Knight coached at Indiana University for 29 seasons, where he won 11 Big Ten titles and 3 national championships, making him an icon in the Hoosier State.
Still people love him, love what he did for basketball, what he did for IU, what he did for the state.
Although visitors were greeted by rain upon exiting, most came away feeling satisfied with the speech and being able to see a different side of the often ill-tempered coach.
On TV, here's this guy that just yells all the time, gets angry, throws chairs and whatnot, but what we saw in there was a different side. He was more, he talked about people that had an impact on him, and kind of revealed his true feelings towards certain things, and he revealed like a softer side.
Knight made the most of performing in front of the Butler University crowd. The legendary coach told stories involving new Butler assistant men's basketball coach Michael Lewis and Hinkle Fieldhouse's namesake, Tony Hinkle. Knight was even introduced by current Butler head coach Brad Stevens. Knight's speech was a huge hit among those in attendance, but perhaps an even bigger hit was the merchandise table in the Clues Hall lobby. There, fans of Coach Knight could buy autographed memorabilia, ranging from Indiana University apparel to folding chairs, similar to the one Knight threw during a 1985 game.
All in all, the rainy evening didn't dampen the atmosphere here at Clues Memorial Hall. For the Bulldog Blitz, I'm Lance Rinker.
And that brings us to the end of this week's show. We encourage you to get out there and support your Bulldogs. For the Bulldog Blitz, I'm Mallory Winters.
And I'm Elyssa Garfinkle. Thanks for watching.